With the election on July 4, it's important that people are reminded about what Keir Starmer has publicly said over the last few years and what he would do with political power. Keir Starmer would be an awful Prime Minister and he does not deserve your vote. Here's why. Before becoming Labour leader, Starmer was a lawyer and head of the Criminal Prosecution Service. His record includes failing to prosecute organisers of a racist anti-GRT rally, claiming £160,000 in expenses over a 2-year period for a 4-mile drive, and allowing state-sanctioned torture to go unpunished many times. Keir Starmer supported war crimes when he said Israel does have that right to cut off water and power to the people of Gaza. Labour then sent frontbenchers to defend his position on TV later that evening. I will never forget this or forgive him.
A siege is appropriate? Cutting off power, cutting off water? Sir Keir?
Well, I think that Israel does have that right. It is an ongoing situation.
In the 2020 Labour leadership election, Starmer promised to deliver 10 pledges including tuition fee abolition and common ownership of utilities. Every pledge has since been broken and they have now been removed from his website. He lied to his party and he will lie to you too. When standing for Labour leader, Keir Starmer made that commitment to nationalise water, energy, rail and mail.
Can you guarantee that under your leadership, the 2019 Labour commitments to nationalise water, energy, rail, the Royal Mail, they'll all be in Labour's next election manifesto?
I've made that commitment.
However, in July 2022, Rachel Reeves confirmed that Labour under Starmer's leadership would not nationalise rail, water or energy. In the Labour leadership election, Keir Starmer promised to bring back free movement of people and to defend migrants' rights. In November 2022, Starmer talked about ending immigration dependency, a stance so right-wing that it received the endorsement of Nigel Farage. 14.6% of NHS staff report a non-British nationality, around 190,000 people. The NHS would be unable to function without overseas recruitment. Yet, in November 2022, Keir Starmer said there are too many people from overseas being recruited to our NHS. When standing for Labour leader, Starmer said he would work shoulder to shoulder with trade unions to stand up for working people. Yet, he banned Labour frontbenchers from attending picket lines and even sacked Sam Tarry after he stood alongside RMT workers on strike. The climate emergency is the greatest threat to humanity. Failure to take action will lead to countries going underwater, destruction of ecosystems and global economic collapse. What is Starmer's response? Cutting his climate spending pledge from £28 billion to £4.7 billion. In 2020, anti-racist campaigners in Bristol tore down the statue of slave owner Edward Colston. Instead of supporting them, Starmer said that it was wrong to pull down the statue. Just a few weeks later, Starmer called Black Lives Matter a moment. 2020 was ultimately defined by the government's shambolic response to the COVID-19 pandemic. At a time when the country needed strong opposition to the Tories, Starmer wasn't there. This is how he shamefully responded to the government's COVID strategy throughout the pandemic.